Hello, I hope you're doing well. This is your host, Bunto Skiffler, on the inaugural show of SkinnyGYM. It's Sunday, April 3rd, I believe. I hope you're all doing well. What's the show about? The show is an idea that I had in the past couple of weeks of just, you know, uh, explaining yourself in order to, motivate yourself and overcome hurdles that you might be having within your gym experience, workout experience. Um, who I am. Okay, let me just start from the beginning. Okay, my name's Bunto. I'm 6'2", 191 at the moment, Native American. In the past year and a half, I've lost significant amount of weight. I just jumped back into, well, I have to, I'm trying to be as honest. This show is, if anything, this show is going to be about just being as honest as possible, no matter what. And this is like the most fervent I've ever been about fitness. So I decided that I wanted to lose that significant amount of weight. And I was up around 250 pounds. And really, what it is what, you go to the gym for a while and then you start organizing things within your mind and learning approaches. And then you decide, really, what do I want for myself physically? So at this point in my life, I just want to be a bit more softer, um, less threatening. What happened is, like, I would say, like, for the past 10 years of my life, during my 40s, I was just this big hulking person, right? And that really, you know, I've just set in my mind that's just not who I am. I was not meant to be like over 200 pounds and a big hulking person. So at the other end of the spectrum, I just want to be, more of a dude, more of a softer, more gender fluid type person. And it's going to take me a while to get really where I want, because we have examples you can see all over the internet and in our own community even. But once you just, do some sort of routine that allows you to, body build, right? Building your body. Everybody basically builds their body, whether they bulk it or they change it. It just helps organize your mind and set it in a course that you want to use to improve yourself. Now, what really matters to me as far as like the whole fitness idiom is, you know, I put it down here and, I just want to be honest. As I said, it's like the first thing is fear. It's right. What you want to like face your fears, if anything, when you try to improve yourself. Um, the fear that I have is as I mentioned earlier, is just being over 200 pounds. I just never want to get to that point where I'm just uh, up past 200. So what you do is, you organize your routines and your workout to enable you to, get as far away from, you know, avoid. How would you say? You could say avoiding your nightmare, but you could. It's more often like transcending it. You know what I mean? Conquering it. As far as what you're putting into your workout, right? Also, when you're approaching fitness, it's a good time in your life to really see what motivates you. Um, you know, there's certain time. I've had experience now, 50 years old, that I've seen things in my experience that I don't want to, you know, things that I've enjoyed. Right, I've seen things that I've enjoyed, and seen, avenues and alleys that I don't ever want to go down again. And all sorts of substance abuse and what have you, mental abuse. There's avenues that you do not want to go into. So you improve your life to go away from those things. You try to progress in your growth, in your maturity. So motivation is a big part of your fitness routine. Of course, uh, how are you going to face, a demon, monster hurdle, and get over it? I mean, that's, one of the biggest joys of your life is to get over things. And that is probably the last part of this is what I call it, the victory. I mean, victory is sweet. There's no substitute for victory. Um, I've encountered many people here in the G plus community who I find intriguing, on a platonic basis. I love them to death. And I want them to understand that, there's nothing that you cannot reach. If you want a victory, just go out and get it. There's no excuses, right? I mean, I'm talking to my friends and I'm talking to people that just might be seeing me for the first time. You can always make an excuse, right? And tons of excuses pile up over the years, but until you just say, hey, I'm through making excuses, I'm just going to do things, that's victory, right? So, I'll leave it at that for that. I could, if you want, pep talk you on another show, but, let's jump in. This first show is called Approaches, that you just jump into the gym, right? Let's just say, now what are you going to do that you're going to a gym? You signed up yesterday, you're going to show up, now what? Okay, besides the fact that they might offer you to, sign up with a trainer or whatever, they're still you. You have to figure out what your approach is. And the approach that I take, everybody, is this one called the art studio approach. Because when I graduated college, I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts. So I do treat the gym just like an art studio. What does that mean? That means that you go there and you discover yourself and you discover your craft. And yes, there are many videos you can watch and there's many books you can read and many workouts you can learn. But essentially, you are going to be the artist that defines what your expression is going to be. And it's a fun thing because being creative at the gym is, it makes more sense than just following somebody else's routine or doing what somebody tells you. Yes, you can do what somebody tells you if it makes sense to you. But then, things that make sense to you that you do and you see results, then that's where you're going to get the most gratification and direction out of what you're doing. It's called the art studio approach, right? Think about it this way. Let's say that for some reason you have to show up at this place almost, I go to the gym 5 times a week, right? 5 times a week and paint the same seaside picture every time, right? Let's say this is the first year of your gym experience, right? You painting the same vista 5 times a week. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you're like very, none of the paintings will look the same, right? I mean, they'll look the same on the outside, but when you study them, it's like there's different things, different nuances. So what we're really trying to get with the art studio approach is that, you learn to, through the nuances is where you'll develop your own technique and your own ideas. Okay, so how do you do the art studio approach to the gym your first couple of months? Okay, you do that by watching other people's workouts. Now, I'm sure some of you know, or maybe when you go, that there's like a privacy factor at the gym where, people avert their eyes. People don't look at other people right next to them. There's a aversion to invading somebody else's space with your inspection, by looking at them, right? Well, yes, you may respect that totally, but also you have your own methods of being able to look at other people. They call it creeping at the gym. If you're like staring at some person intently, yes, you are creeping. But if you're staring at somebody, for a few, glances and putting things together in your head, that's allowable. So I stress to you, go ahead and break this sacred cow bubble that they have at the gym of, just keeping in your own zone and not talking to everybody. Go ahead and venture out, look at other people's workouts, ask questions, look at YouTube, right? That's not, breaking somebody's privacy because they're actually broadcasting ideas to you. You watch them, maybe ask them questions, because that's why YouTube is superior than television, that you can actually conversate and, have a back and forth with the people that are making these videos, right? But let's go rule number 1. When you first start, go ahead and start looking at other people's workouts. And you're watching the other people, seeing what they're doing, try to figure out what they're doing, right? You go to the gym, right? Unless you've done it before, you don't know any of the exercises or any of the machines, right? You're going to have to learn the machines. So you watch the other people on the machines, you watch the trainers, right? Hey, there's somebody you can watch all the time, the trainers. And you learn the exercises. You learn what, trying to put together, if you see somebody just doing the upper chest, you see that they're doing just the upper chest. If you see somebody doing a multitude of exercises, for the fact, let's say that these are people that are in the intermediate level or advanced training, right? Why are they doing a multitude of exercises instead of just one? Maybe they're circuit training, right? Now, you're going to learn that there's various types of methods that you can apply when you go working out. The one that I use is called circuit training, and high intensity interval training, HIIT. You can look these terms up online, HIIT, HIIT, and circuit training, and get a little bit of the background of that. Now, I'll explain to you why I got into those sorts of workouts. Okay, but just keeping this on the beginner elementary level, you want to watch other people, see their workouts, start learning the different machines and exercises, right? Maybe you do have a few training lessons in there where you can ask them, right? And importantly, what you're going to do in that is, first enjoy it a couple of months. You're going to really learn what you want. What do you want? Show up at the gym. Maybe your body's a wreck, like mine was. Maybe you want to just, feel like you want to fit in a certain level of fitness that you imagine yourself in, right? Like, let's say you can't pick somebody off the floor, or you have difficulty lifting something up, so you want to say, well, that's it. I know other people of my size can do it. I want to, maybe you're having trouble walking around the block or whatever, right? Maybe you're trying to kick some sort of abuse, and you want to just straighten out your life. So what you do is you go to the gym, right? Start a routine, and then you start solidifying in your head what you want. Okay, why is it important to want what you want for a change? I'm just pausing because I just, to be honest, is a exercise in itself. Is that my personality type is that sometimes I'll do what other people want, and that's fine, but it gets to a point where it's you have to live your own life, and you have to take control of what you want to do in your life. Okay, so the gym, the fitness, is also a method of focusing your mind upon yourself. You're going to be impressed. I am very impressed by people that I encounter in the gym, the feats of strength and the things that I see at the gym, right? I wonder if you will be too. I'm sure you will, right? But what you realize is that, okay, you can't take like a pill on Monday and be Arnold Schwarzenegger on Friday, right? You can't be, completely sloppy and then within 2 weeks to 2 months be a fit king, right? You have to work. So you learn what you want, and you learn not to quit. Quitting is a privilege. And this is one time in your life, I'm talking to you, that you're going to complete what you do. I mean, you're going to knuckle down and, see it through. The mindset of going to the gym, right? This is going to be a quick presentation. I just want to cover some things, and we'll open a room to participants. Oh, just a quick aside. Somebody on outside, one of my friends says, well, why don't you go through YouTube and enable the question and answer portion? The thing is that I've noticed that YouTube doesn't announce Hangouts as such facility as the old G+ way, so I just choose to go through G+. I will open the room to your questions. Once I open up, participants can come in. I'll take the time to look in the outside and see if anybody has any questions in the public feed. To get back on point, all right, how to approach socializing, the socializing aspect of the gym. This is in SkinnyGYM, right? You go into the gym and you do encounter people that maybe you don't really see in your everyday life, right? People where fitness really matters, where the ability to do something, matters. I mean, how often do you see somebody, work at something with religious fervor in order to get the job done? In my experience before the gym, not very often. I was maybe a little cloistered in my house, but when you get to the gym, then you see a lot of rock hard, core hard people. At our gym, interesting enough, I just tell you, I live here in Leander, Texas. We have a lot of it's a female gym. It's I would say at least, maybe now, to be fair, we were at one point like 85% female at that gym, and now it's like maybe 80%. There like today I left, there was a significant male presence, but to be honest, that gym that I go to is 80% female, right? So what I'm trying to say is that the meatheads, right? The real freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger heads are just a few and far between, right? But we got them, right? A few weightlifters. No, okay, to be honest, we don't have any bodybuilder males, right? But guess what, guys? We have plenty of female bodybuilders, physique competitors there at the gym. And we also have fitness chicks, which are like, to me, a bodybuilder woman is a bikini girl with maximum muscle mass laid on. I wish I could just give you the mental picture, but they are really muscle mass, right? And they walk around muscle mass, right? But the physique competitors are fitness chicks, right? Okay, let me extend and revise, please. I'll put the fitness competitors, physique competitors, with the bodybuilding women, right? Okay. The fitness girls, fitness chicks are a little different animal. They're more like girls that are more aerobics. They're more fitness orientated, more dancers. We do have a dancer or two at the gym, Patty. And then, they're cheerleader types, the cheerleader bodies, the professional cheerleader bodies, lithe and maybe not, top heavy, but definitely fit women, right? And then we also have the gym lesbians, right? I myself an LGBT, if you didn't know that. Uh, and they are, very much to themselves, but they're women who are, they work out too, right? To me, the gym lesbians are very almost like a monks. They just pretty much keep within themselves. But what you notice, why I bring it up as significant, is that these people do push themselves, right? They work out too in a certain manner that is, I would say, distinct from fitness girls. Fitness girls are straps. Exercises that I enjoy for ectomorphs. Getting into fitness shape. I would say gym lesbians. They just sit on things like the bench press, things that you would imagine, dudes doing. They do those exercises, right? Bodybuilder and fitness competitors, they are worried about contests, right? So they worry about their eating, and they're training there too, right? Other people, and they, do things like they do full body, but they move around. That's what I'm trying to say. Amongst the machines, they're not like the gym lesbians that just sit on certain machines, they sit on certain machines. I think of the Smith's machine. They sit on like the bench press and stuff, right? Anyway, excuse me. That gym is 80% to 85% female, right? So, you know, what am I trying to get at here? When you get in there and you start, opening yourself up, socializing to people, really what you want to aim for, I'm talking to the skinny gym types, the ECTOs, is that you want to look for people that are similar body types. Now, why is that? Let me take a quick breath here to gather myself, give you guys a little break. Okay. Why do you want to look for similar body types? Okay. When you go to the gym, you're going to realize that there's certain mentalities that you'll encounter when you do start socializing, talking to trainers, maybe talking to your other people there, and or seeing things, just purely watching things at the gym. Okay. The bodybuilder types believe in bulking up and mass. Okay. These guys are talking about eating 6 times a day with a meal clock, every 2 hours it goes off. They eat. They hate cardio. They hate anything that has a chance of burning off their muscles. Okay. And you watch these people walk in. Do they do any warm up? Maybe a few cursory ones, not like you will end up doing. They just, jump right into their massive max rep routine, right? They do quick max reps and then they sit there at the machine for 5 minutes to recover. Now, that's really the mindset that is, of no use to us at Skinny Gym, right? They're low volume, high intensity, max resistance type people, right? We're high intensity people, the Skinny Gyms. We're a high intensity, high volume people. Okay, we get our residuals, where we get our gains, is from circuiting, doing a lot of activity. That's really, if you want to make it at the gym as a skinny guy, and make it come together. That's what I've discovered, is that I'm a epic workout dude, high volume, put in a couple hours of just activity, right? Activity is the key word. Okay, so you're socializing, and you're starting to socialize, and you're watching things. So what you're looking at the gym is for similar body types. Okay, in my case, I empathize a lot with females, right? With their character, with their feelings, right? But I to be to get the most out of the gym experience, I have to look for other males, of my body type. And I was lucky at the gym, and I'll explain to you how. Um, there's an actor at the gym. Have you seen this show? It's called Longmire, I believe it's called. He plays one of the law enforcement. His name's Ken Bradley. Anyway, get this. I'm 6'2", 190. Ken is like 6'1" and a half, 184, right? And he looks, very close to my body size. So you find a double, right? You find a doppelganger at the gym, and you're lucky if the doppelganger knows his stuff. Ken knows his stuff, and he's the one really where I adopted circuit training, because he does extreme circuit training, right, to keep in shape for his profession. What is circuit training? Circuit training is where you take a few exercises, more than two, and make a circuit out of them, like a superset. What the point is doing that is that you really, the bottom line of doing that is keeping your heart rate up, right? That is one way that you're going to lose body fat. Let's say there's three things now, at the skinny gym mentality of going as an ecto to the gym. Okay, first is toning, right? You're going to tone yourself. Second is that you're going to maintain your muscle mass. Now, I'm trying to follow your thinking here. Okay, well, why don't I just, freaking take steroids, or just, lift super heavy, right? The thing is that I believe in the skinny gym, it's probably I don't want to say easier, because shoot, people that do my workout bend over. Um, it's like more intuitive to do high volume when you're an ectomorph, because I will say readily, there's uh, people that are stronger than me. There's females that are stronger than me, and I would say males that are twice as strong as me. But as far as the endurance and toughness, I outstrip a lot of people. How can I prove that? They have contests at that gym, where you can. They want us to see who's the who can do the exercises that they write on the board, right? And the thing is, like, if they don't ask me to do endurance exercises, just let me leave it at that. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that you look and you see the doppelgangers, right? And then you watch their exercises. Maybe, if you're wise and lucky enough, you get into their heads and you can talk with them, right? And Ken showed me, pretty much a lot of his routine. I watch Ken's routine. I emulate Ken's routine to a point, right? He does things that are much stronger than I, but I, started doing a lot of his exercises. Okay. And there's another guy named Chris there, who is ex-military. He's an officer who just got out. A little bit smaller than me. There's not many 6'2" people there, but I follow his regimen too. He is also a hard gainer, and that guy does not approach lifting heavy. Okay, what crosses my mind now is the lifting heavy thing. Okay, you're watching the show for the first time. Uh, Everybody wants to tell you to lift heavy. If you're skinny, I'm talking to skinnies, right? they say if you don't lift heavy, you're not going to progress. Now, there's different types of progression. Okay. You can lift heavy and not get as readily results as if you just do endurance and toughness exercises. Endurance and toughness seems to pay off for the hard gainer. There's books on this that you can get online from Amazon. One is Scott Abel, the hard gainer, and he admits it. The only thing that works for hard gainer is high volume and toughness endurance exercises, right? So yes, you go to the gym, you get that free training lesson, and the trainer's saying, okay, let's crank up 120, 150 pounds on the lat pull down, right? Noodle through that, it's like buying a car. Just let that fool talk. And then once you're got them out of your hair and you start your own workout, crank that thing down to 70 and let's start doing, volume reps. Okay. An interesting thing that is in the there's all sorts of truths that they say in weightlifting. They say things. It's what I'm trying to say is there's contradictory things that they'll say. They're freaking lifting 200 pounds and then they're telling you look for the squeeze, right? Well, the squeeze only happens when you do high volume. They tell you not to do slut reps, do real half reps. The thing is that it's sort of like when you're doing high volume, and please, ask me about this later. I can elaborate. What you're trying to do is to feel the squeeze. The squeeze is most important. What I'm trying to say is that you feel in whatever exercise you're doing, the actual stroke, the actual feeling of working the muscle that you're aiming at, right? The squeeze. Okay, that is more important than max reps. One max rep, that's more important than max resistance. Okay, to do a 300-pound squat, never mind about that. What's more important is set that bar at 115, do squats proper form, and then feel the squeeze, right? That will pay off more the next day in soreness than just hurting yourself, injuring yourself by doing overweight. Okay, so you're learning. You see a doppelganger, you're learning stuff, and when you really start getting into it, maybe you're sharing stuff. What's important to do is always be on point. It's always be talking about the workout. There's certain things that can happen at the gym, right? Like I've noticed just occasion, it just didn't surprise me because I'm a 50-year-old guy. And I've been around the block a few times that, certain people will get attachment to me, for whatever reason. And then they'll start, maybe taking it a little bit off point. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to, just tell everybody that's just a natural thing that happens. But you have the discipline to keep things on point, at the gym. Just kind of be about the workout, right? Maybe people want to investigate your personal, and I'm going to be honest, sexuality. They want to investigate, how you feel about them and stuff. It's probably better for you to, keep anything at the most maximum level platonic, right? Just, hey, bud, how you doing? Not get sidetracked by anything, either romantic or just ancillary to the workout. The workout is your spouse at the gym, right? Keep it on the up and up, right? You're gonna, I tell you what, you're gonna appreciate people, trainers especially, that have to interact with people. They have to interact with people at the gym, keeping it on point, right? I do. I admire, certain trainers that they keep it on point. Now, what's also a real cool thing, I'm gonna, cap this segment right there. What is interesting is if you have a particular gym membership, maybe they're like a franchise, so you can go to their other gyms, right? A good thing about going to other gyms is you can, juxtapose that against the vibe in your own gym. And I've done that. I've gone to other fitness gyms and this franchise the ones they have at Austin, and just, compare them to your own gym. And then, maybe in my case, I find out how much I'm into the groove at my gym. But that's something that you can do is, hey, why don't I just check out other gyms? Once you've learned a series of exercises, stuff that you feel comfortable with, you can just, go to the other gym and do those exercises there and just, check out the scene at other gyms. Now, here's the last section. I'm going to just try to cap this up in about 5 minutes. When to change up your workout when you first start, and when to scale back a bit, right? Now, the thing is that what I've noticed is there's an additive synthesis to your workout when you first start, at the art studio. You just start learning all these exercises, and your workout expands and expands and expands. You call it a full body workout, but what it really is just, everything that you've ever learned is just being stacked one after another. Yes, you can do that, but what happens is your body is fiendishly adaptive, meaning that your body adapts to a routine. And what does that mean is that you can get more out of a workout where you surprise your body, where you change up, than your constant routine. And that's something I've learned, I wouldn't say the hard way, but I've learned that. It's like, hey, I'm just cruising through my workout, I'm finishing them. Well, guess what? You start doing different stuff or a different approach, and you're getting tired again, right? So that's something to remember, is that your body, the skinny ECTOs, adapts. Sure enough, you're on your way to doing 110-pound lat pull downs, right? But the second that you change that up and just start hammering, shoulders and back, and all of a sudden that lat pull down gets down to 90. You know what I mean? It's just what it is not you're losing strength, buddy, but you're expanding your horizons. You're making other muscles work. So remember that your body adapts fiendishly. So you do, I'm saying this, if you need to do a whole year of a certain workout, by all means, go ahead and do that. That what that does is strengthen your routine and your quitters. You don't quit, right? But know that at a point in your thinking, you're going to have to organize your workout and change it up. Also, this is another thing that's kind of, I wouldn't say tough, but something that you have to train yourself, to get used to, is listen to what others say about your workouts, right? Okay, so you befriend people, and they tell you things about your workout. Usually, they have questions what might bother them about the workout, or what they can see can be improved, right? Your form, that's the first thing they bring up. Like, hey, that you're doing half reps, or that form sucks, or bent. Let's say you're on the squats or the Smith and the same, a Bunto, you have to go down farther, right? Fine. What I'm trying to say is that, at a certain point, if you really want to improve, you have to start listening to people, what they say about your workout, in order to improve your approach, right? So, if you have any problems, just ask me, and I'll say, this is biting a bullet. Let's say it that way. And, put your pride to the side and put the ego to the side. They tell you, hey, you can't lift that. If they know what they're talking about, you probably can't lift it. You have to work yourself up, right? Okay. And the final segment here, the final thing I'll say before I open a room up to participants, is it does help when you take time, be it when you're laying in bed at night, to actually go over your workout in your head and try to figure out what you're doing, right? You know what I mean? You go in there with a plan, but then, it's like, what do you call it? Debriefing. You debrief your workout that you've been doing, and you think of where you're going with it, what you want to do with it. If you could explain your workout to somebody else, right? Debrief yourself. How's that? You start working at the gym. Maybe you're counting pounds, but take time to look at your activity and to debrief yourself. As far as I put in the text for this hangout, a fitness vlog discussing workout tips for ectomorphs, right? Hardgainers. That's a term that they use in fitness for people that are skinny, who have a hard time putting on muscle. And AntiFATTIES. What's an anti-fatty? That's like a weight loser, somebody who's really concerned about, digging out the fat. and keeping the muscle, keeping the muscle mass, toning, but really digging out fat. If there's anything that maybe you'll notice about me at this point is that I do keep score of pounds. Many people will tell you at the gym, hey, don't worry about pounds, just worry about the way you look. You have to keep score if you're going to be at SkinnyGYM, because we got to have something to talk about, right? Well, I'd like to thank you all for listening to the first show. What I'm going to do now at this point is, anybody else who wants to come in, I'm going to open up the room to participants. So please hold on. Thank you. Okay, I've added some people. Thank you for watching. Okay. Well, if they don't come, I'll end it sooner than I planned. Hi, Jim. How have you been? Where are you, at church?
Is that what he said to you? Let's see if I can get my camera to work. There we go.
Where are you, Jim? Batman Church?
This is my wife.
Hi, hon.
He said hi, hon.
Hi, hi. Who's he talking to?
He's a friend of mine that we chat, debate every now and again.
Oh, what are you guys eating?
So I've heard you call that face to face before.
I just
Nice
wanted
to
you
meet you face to face.
almost.
Yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
you know, I didn't miss the call, but I'll have to chat at you later. Take care, man.
okay. Take care. Have a good day. Well, that's an interesting
At least she acted like she was happy.
appearance by my friend Christian
she's
Hillbilly. If y'all didn't know, I also have another show where I interview a lot of people in the community. He was one of my interviews, a very interesting one. What I'm trying to do, at least in 2016, is I do have the dogfight interview show, but I'm also trying to do a show about my diet array that I'm also doing, as well as this new show about fitness. Why does fitness intrigue me? Because it's just something that I've just laid my hands on, right? Like the theist talks about God, they lay their hands on that. They know all about it, right? One time I was very, interested in the at least the chess game of Christianity and trying to understand, deconstruct it, right? And, funny enough, it's like there's this girl who, it just finds me intriguing and fascinating because, I know the Bible and I'm an atheist. So, we talk about it all the time. It's like what I'm trying to say is like we're right in the middle of a workout. We'll start talking about it and then the whole music stops. So she just has to ask me question after question about scripture, which I've studied, right? So it's interesting in that facet of the socialization of the gym that you can, you know, I did mention that you stay on point, but I meant like, stay in, in, what can I say, in things that are benign. I don't think talking about religion is any way, the way I approach it as a mechanistic thing. I study religion. If you approach it that way, then worrying about the dogma of certain things that you could talk about the gym, like politics. Well, what happens is at our gym we have the TVs on, right? And so we can see the Trump madness and the whenever shooting goes down or some sort of law enforcement, over the lines for law enforcement, we can talk about it at that point. We watch the local news, and then stuff goes down in Austin. We'll talk about that. But it's like bonding, right? If you're sitting at a restaurant, cafe, or something, watching the TV and talking about that, it's at that level. How can I say? Well, how to bond with the opposite sex, right? In a platonic way. Well, the thing is that it's very interesting, and at least in my case, it's like I can see what females are after, much more clear than the guys. It's like, well, the guys are lifting massive amounts of weight, right? Where the girls are working the same exercises I'm doing. We're looking for working the bottom half, toning, right? These guys are looking for being able to lift 3 plates, and we're on a different level doing other exercises. So it's easier to bond with women that way if you're talking just to work out. The fitness chicks are all about toughness, endurance, flexibility. They can do things that, Joe and Jane Lunchbucket on the street, just they're not going to get up and just do a front, lever on the. You're not going to see that, on a daily basis. When you go to the gym, the fitness chicks, they just, hey, watch this, bam, okay, badass, right? So there is a little bit of feats. There's the feats of strength, and then hey, watch what I can do, like or something. It's like, whoa. There's an emphasis on body weight, and I would say for the skinny gym, body weight's fun, guys. I mean, yeah, these meatheads can do, massive amounts of weights, but can they do, flag pulls, front levers, muscle ups, chin ups, pull ups, push ups, jump squats, jump planks, mountain climbers. There's a whole continent of body weight exercises that you can do as a skinny gym person. Do you think of yourself as a skinny gym person, at this point? once the pounds start getting off and you set yourself to like, that is just not my body type. It's just, I'm not to be a fat person. And, maybe you're a pretty good candidate for SkinnyGYM, right? If for some reason and I've seen this, I have people I've seen around here, they're like 250 pounds, breathing heavy, and then they tell us that they're going to bulk up with muscle. It's like, that's just, the thing is like this, those people that think that way, I don't think they've really sat at the gym and watched it, day after day. The thing that has to go into, bulking, the discipline, right? We have bulkers there, and eating and lifting heavy and sitting for 5 minutes, recovery. We're much more active, much more volume orientated. We want to break a sweat, right? That's the thing, one thing about SkinnyGYM, skinny kid, might as well break a sweat, man, because that's why we're here. Break a sweat, right? Don't be afraid to break a sweat, right? Let's suppose you saw like the most beautiful actor, like some guy that you'd never imagine, ending up like the lawn guys. You've seen these lawn guys, these landscapers that are just sweating, profusely. They're just totally breaking ass. Well, imagine these beauty boys, this is them off camera. They're at the gym freaking breaking ass. Yeah, Ken, the actor, right? My age, right? That's what I forgot. I guess I neglected to left out, as a doppelganger. He's just my age. Yeah, he's 1 year older than me. That guy breaks ass. He sweats at the gym. When I do get in extended conversations, right, I do try to move around, a bit, that if you start, let's say you're starting to talk with somebody and, it's really going deep, right? You do little move arounds and exercises, just to, make the gesture of, hey, I'm jumping back into the workout. But what I was trying to say is like, sometimes you forget about that. You're just talking with somebody about, whatever they want to discuss, right? And then, you look at Ken and this guy's like a sopping mess and just sinks in, holy I better, jump on it, start, start catching up to Ken, right? That's another thing, catch up. You see somebody's workout and you want to catch it. So you start working harder, trying to catch them. Socializing, Jim, why don't we just, I'll just touch on that a little bit more. Maybe you feel you're an introvert. You're very shy. You are embarrassed for whatever reason you can lay out for me, right? You're embarrassed of approaching somebody, right? One thing that can start alleviating that is start going to the gym a lot. I mean, once they start seeing you there as a regular, then the privacy walls get lower. There's more interaction. Now, the reason for interaction is for your own benefit, to learn things, to keep on point. Also, like, once you get good at it, you can start puffing other people, good job, hey, man, they start believing you because they've seen you so many times. You say, hey, listen, Jane, Joe, you're starting to work for you. That back is coming along, your back is starting to look good. That's another thing that, I brought up to people around here is like, we talk about, there's not like much we can't talk about physically at the gym, glutes, you don't say ass, right? You say glutes, bottom half, bottom chain, let's, things will start working better for you if you start working on your bottom chain. It's not like, let's say euphemisms, right? Your ass will start looking better if you start doing this is not as elegant as saying your bottom chain or your glutes. Working on your bottom. What are you going to be doing for 2016, Bunto? Well, I'm going to, just hammering the bottom. That's really what I'm going to get after. That's the way, all the fitness competitors aim at it, right? And, they appreciate your I guess because I'm coming from the great debate community, your religious fervor of your routine, your zealotry, your commitment, your discipline to your own goals, your own fitness goals. So yeah, they start listening to you, and you get respect that way, and you listen to them, right? One thing maybe I'm sure you guys realize is that gym can be extremely boring, right? I mean, because you're in the routine, you're sitting in the routine, and you've done it. So that's why they got the TVs there. I can imagine. Could you imagine going to a gym with no TVs? I mean, I would be the voyeur city because I got to look at something. I got to look at something and start working it in my mind. TV's good, and just watch that stuff, and just start working it there. Um, I have food fantasies a lot of times when I'm working out. I think about eating. I think about what I would like to eat and put together in my head. So, the socializing is like, just like anything. You're just, coming up with things in your head, to talk about. You don't have to socialize. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be this, broadcaster where you're always effluent and everybody's, privacy. But a bit of socialization helps. You're walking to the gym, somebody sees you. It's not like a freaking, factory job. You can at least say hello to somebody. Hey, what's going on, man? Big plans for the weekend? What have you been eating? What have you been eating? What are you after? You look good. What do you think of this? The military guys there talk some military with them. They tell me stories about what happens in Afghanistan or how they mustered out or whatever, what they don't like about the military. That stuff goes on. People they saw, in the military. We have at our gym, we have like a kind of rotating managers, but when the franchise gets a new manager wannabe, they send them to a gym, for a little bit, and then send them to another gym. So these guys come in and, I talk to them, see what they're about. There's a age difference there. I feel like, I'm at least 10 years older than any of the managers. The managers are young. It's for a young person. There's no guys, in the 40s or 50s I see coming in as a manager. The women there, they deserve respect because they are very disciplined, in what they do. The trainers, there's a lot of girly stuff at the gym. Just have to get used to that. I mean, if you're like what's that guy in wrestling, Steve Austin, who gets kind of bristles at anything feminine, at the gym, you're just going to hear so many squeals and giggles and girly stuff. It's like a cheerleader thing. You know what I mean? Just that's what the women do, squeal and giggle. Some women are, afraid to talk to you. To me, I look like an Indian. So they think, okay, I got a tomahawk, I'm going to smash their head in or something. It's like, they got to get over that. I'm there so often, so they, come down and learn not to fear, the big guys. They're trying to do something, right? They're trying to better themselves. Tip my hat to them for that much. Not much religion goes on at the gym. Some does. Just certain persons talk to me about. Well, the thing is, what happens? I turn a lot of people off of religion, and they ask me, I was talking to God the other day or something. They do that. I'm like, oh, really? They can tell that I'm just not interested in any sort of proselytization or God approach, right? But a certain girl likes to talk to me about, more of the deeper, what is the construction of the Bible, which I'm gladly, share with her. Yes. Okay. One thing that I want to cover, I guess I'll stay on for a little bit more. Sure, they want you to buy something at the gym, right? They want you to buy, trainer, want you to buy their supplements, buy this, buy that, right? But the thing is, like, when you get onto the gym membership, then they start dough popping. I don't know if you guys know this, that they have like these hidden fees. The thing is, you have to, if they get egregious with the fees for us, they just dough pop us with these equipment fees like twice a year. And it's like, bro, really, guys? What happens is this, is that, with gyms, there are other gyms that, you know, you can always throw in their face, like, you know, Gold's Gym is having a special, right? You know what I mean? You can put a little bit of the fear in them, uh, you know, as far as the dough popping you. Anyway, so they always want you to buy something at the gym, and then, you know, you can, you know, well, for me, they don't ask me no more. I just, you know, they know I'm just all about the workout. I'm not about, you know, the Girl Scout cookies and everything. You know, talk to the managers. One habit that I've gotten at the gym is that, you know, well, a lot of my workout, because that gym is very cluttered. I just, you know, help put away the equipment and pick stuff up. I mean, you could be this person is like, you know, I ain't going to help them. They got to do their own job, right? Well, you know, at least you could be a part of your workout, just putting away the stuff. You know, they have that sign, re-rack your weights. Of course, you know, you can do that. The thing is like this, if you're of this personality or you're actually helping once in a while put away the stuff, there's those times when you're too tired to put away your own stuff. It's like, hey, I did it one time before. Somebody can do that for me this time. So, you know, put stuff away at the gym. One thing I almost never do at the gym is like one time, you know, they told me about this, one of the managers. But the thing is, you know, don't ever worry about, you know, a manager coming down hard on you at the gym, because what happens is a manager really don't last there. They cycle them out, you know. It's like a principal, right? You know, let's say the principal jumps at you at the school or whatever. Well, what would you, you know, feel? You know, you're going to get rid of that principal within a year. I mean, you just don't sweat it, right? Anyway, so I always have this habit of like turn the TVs to what I want to see, right? I walk into the gym, you know, we got 4 TVs and we got a TV and all the cardio stuff. So, you know, I set it on Univision. I watch the Mexicans all the time. You know, I don't understand Spanish, but I like watching them. So, you know, a manager at one time came in to me and says, you know, hey, Bunto, when you get done, turn the TV back to the English, right? Because, you know, English only, you know what I mean? It was that vibe, right? It's like, sure enough, the guy, you know, is moves on, right? And, you know, I just keep doing what I always do. You know, people know that, you know, this guy Pete comes up to me and says, you know, I was here one day at like 6 o'clock in the morning and this TV was on Univision. I wonder who did it, you know, and he's just sad. Who do you think did? I did it. It's like, oh, okay. But, you know, and he tells you that the TV was left on the Mexicans all day because, you know, people don't watch TV sometimes. It's some people, the people that do watch TV, I don't know. But, you know, if you're watch free TV, join the gym, right? So, you know, watching TV, we watch the news a lot of times together. Something will trickle down in Austin, you know, so we want to turn on the TV that day just to see, you know, what's the what up. South by Southwest, or, you know, Obama coming here, whatever. Something went down, so we want to see what the heck's, or, you know, the weather, right? There's a freaking tornado outside, so, you know, let's see what the heck's going on, right? So you turn on TV, watch it all together. We don't eat at the gym. Okay, we're one of those gyms that it's not like Planet Fitness where they have a pizza there or donuts or something. It's like the only people that eat at gym is like a people brings in a banana or you do a protein shake. So there's just not much eating. At our gym, you know, we're right next to, you know, the fast food joint, Subway, right next to the pizza place. So we can go over there, you know, eat afterwards. What happens is, you know, maybe after a workout, after you've been food fantasizing, you know, with somebody, you can say, hey man, let's go eat, and then go eat at the better restaurants. And you know, don't ever be afraid of doing that. I mean, you know, it's a good kind of bond. It's very good for talking about just what the heck you're trying to do at the gym, you know, as far as your workouts. And you can tell these people, you know, they ask them questions, they ask you questions, you just, you know, stay on workout, stay on point. So, you know, going out to eat's not a bad idea. Let me see. You know, just you know, I'll leave it at that. Just keeping it massively, totally on the platonic level. You know, that's the wisest move for you to do. Well, I'd like to, you know, thank everybody for watching. I see you have one viewer, but I wish you all a good week. And if you have any questions, go ahead and, you know, send me a message. Put it in the outside feed, public feed. This is just, you know, the inaugural show of Skinny Gym. if you like to see some changes or you like some any suggestions, go ahead and dump them in there. But my name is Bunto Skiffler. I wish you all a good week. Take care.